He's going along with you, whatever it is. Y'all right. So we were putting our input, just took me a minute to say Be careful, I'll call you my Copeland.
Bel Air Drive. I did. We've had that, yeah.
Somebody had to go me 3 or 4 days after it hit. Have you not seen it? That's all right. That's all right. I'm supposed to have it. That's all right. My brain.
Houston. Doug.
All right, if I could have your attention, please, we'll get our May council meeting going. We'll have our opening by Sheriff Tyler Hatfield. We'll have our Pledge of Allegiance by Marty Cashin, and our invocation by Mr. Arvis Bobo.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us pray. And kind Heavenly Father, we thank Thee that we live in a country where we can meet freely and discuss the people's business. Please be with us as we make decisions for the county. Please help us to make the right decision. Give us the knowledge and the courage to do what is right. But please be with us through the rest of the meeting. We thank Thee for all of our many blessings, especially thank Thee for our Savior Jesus Christ. Please forgive us of all of our many sins. For we ask for these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Okay, I just want to remind you guys that attending a public meeting is an opportunity to participate in our civic life. We share perspectives and listen to others. Good audience etiquette ensures that the meeting runs smoothly, respectively, and productively. I'd like to give you guys attention without interruption, avoid side conversations and distracting behaviors. Refrain from making negative gestures, facial expressions, or comments while others are speaking. Wait to be recognized to be speaking. Don't direct any comments directly to individuals in the audience. If you're in the audience, please silence your devices. Please avoid loud whispering or other disruptions. Remain seated unless it is your turn to speak or you need to leave quietly. We want to treat each other with respect and courtesy. We want to remember that our goal is constructive dialogue, not confrontation. Okay, so with that being said, Ms. Lacy, can you do roll call for us?
Robert Bracewell,
Here.
Sunny Ray Moorhead,
Here.
Marty Cashin,
Here.
Arvis Bobo,
Here.
Bradley Dye,
Here.
Shane Taylor,
Here.
Amy Cashin,
Here.
Jimmy Hammond, John Taylor,
Here.
Gerald Burnett,
Here.
Dexter Golden,
Here.
Douglas Carson, Houston Lindsay, Peggy Sue Blackburn,
Here.
Greg Gwynn.
So we have 11, we do have a quorum. Should have received in your packet a copy of the minutes from last month. Entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve. I can submit it. Minutes.
Second by Mr. Robert. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? We do have a couple things that we need to add to the agenda. We have Marge Gamble as notary bond, Jonah Ross Deal, notary public, and Megan Arnold as notary public. We'll add these under elections and appointments. Is there a motion to add those to the agenda?
I'll make a motion to add it to the agenda.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Robert with the second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Okay. Under the section of public comment, we do have one who has requested to speak, Mr. Lynn Collier.
Madam Chairperson, Metro Council, this is going to be an unusual request tonight for public comment, so I would hope y'all would waive the time limit and let this gentleman speak. This is a good story, so if y'all don't mind.
Okay.
So before Mr. Carter comes up here, I'm going to introduce him and talk a little bit real quick. So thank you, Madam Chair and Council, for this opportunity. It is my honor tonight to help kick off National EMS Week here in Moore County. During this week, communities across the country are recognizing the 52nd Annual National EMS Week, and this year's theme is Improving Outcomes Together. That theme is more than a slogan. It is a reminder that every life saved is a result of the chain. A 911 call taker, a dispatcher, a first responder, our EMS team, our hospital partners, and community willing to invest in the people who answer the call at 2 a.m. on the worst day of someone's life. Tonight, that chain has a face. I would like to introduce a man who is with us this evening because that chain held. Major General Lynn A. Collier suffered a cardiac arrest and is standing here tonight thanks to the skilled immediate response from our community lay rescuers, deputies, and our Metro Moore County EMS crew. Major General Collier, would you please join me up here, please?
Thank you for being here.
So at this time, I'm going to let him help recognize the staff that had a part in saving his life tonight from the EMS team with that and everything. So with that, I'd like to first talk about our EMS team that day. So it was a little bit of an unusual day. It was during the Oak Barrel Marathon. Mr. Collier here was a runner into that, and within mile number 1, Mr. Collier suffered a sudden cardiac arrest and went down. Due to the response of a nurse practitioner, another nurse that was running with him, our deputy was on scene directing traffic, all good response, got EMS moving quickly to him and stuff. And we're going to talk about the EMS team here tonight to present them a challenge point that we usually do with cardiac arrest for them tonight. And then he was shortly flown out to a hospital to where he made his recovery and still doing pretty good and everything. And so after this, I'll let him address the body and say what he wanted to say. So the first EMS responder that day was Ronnie Smith. Chris Gagnon. Savannah Morton. Dwayne Clark. And Hunter Case. So these moments are usually very rare for us to have these one-on-one impacts where people get discharged from the hospital with 100% neural intact like it never happened before. So this is a great success story for our team and for Mr. Collier for that. So I'll turn it forward to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Council. Thanks for letting me speak today. I'm very happy to be here, and actually very, very lucky to be here at the same time. If you don't mind, I'll talk here so I can talk to everybody, because everybody needs to hear this. Perfect week to recognize the EMS team. Good outcomes. Couldn't ask for a better topic or goal. So I'm here to tell you, I had cardiac arrest not even a mile into the run. The doctor said it was inevitable, it was going to happen at some point in time. There is no place better in the world that I could have been, except for in a hospital somewhere, than where I went down on the race course. Because as was stated, 3 nurses, 2 from Huntsville Hospital, another from up in Tennessee, a law enforcement individual from Redstone Arsenal, were all within about 10 seconds of me and started doing CPR. They said they heard the ribs break on the 3rd compression, means they're doing it right. You got to hurt somebody if you're doing it right, and most people don't want to hurt anybody, and there's a lot of bad outcomes. Well, I was very fortunate. They didn't ever get my heart started, but they did enough to allow me to survive until the EMS team got there. Where I went down was about 50 yards from their headquarters. Again, couldn't have been a better place with the right people around me and that sort of thing. They responded, put me in the ambulance, gave me the shock, got my heart going again, ultimately got me breathing again, and then turned me over to the helicopter crew. It's a good news story. It makes you feel good that people that didn't know me from anybody else, but had the skill sets and the professionalism to stop and help. A couple of them said that's the first time they've ever had to do anything like that, not in a hospital. And they're worried about their own capabilities. Well, they were all capable and professional. The team you have here, you're in great shape. They were on target, had the right tools, the right equipment to do the things, and were very professional about how they did it. Got me going. The nurses, 2 of the nurses said they didn't think there was much of a chance for me to make it. And it turns out that the opportunity, it was about less than 1% of the people that have that would have survived. And I've survived because of the capabilities of your team here. So we've met all of them, and I think what we talked about is for them to see me standing here versus not knowing where I would be, or thinking that, did he die, did he survive, that sort of thing. That's very important. I did 35 years in the military, and it's important for people to know when they did good work, and to be told, and let them see that everything I did was worthwhile. And I would tell you, everything they did was worthwhile to me, and to my wife, who was standing there at the same time looking at me. And I appreciate it very much. I had the opportunity to see them all and talk to them personally, but not to recognize them publicly, and so I appreciate this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you for taking that opportunity. We agree with you that they are great.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, on that note, it's the week of Memorial Day, so if everyone would remember, Monday there will be a Memorial Day service on the square at 11 o'clock, I believe. I know it's not Thursday, but thank you very much. Robert, thank you for your service.
I want to thank you for your service.
Yes.
Well, just so everyone knows, my wife did 30 years too, so we
Well,
figured
thank you.
65 was enough. We did a joint retirement ceremony, and so that's enough. Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate the service. And we're good.
All right. We can move on conducting our business for the month. We'll move on to elections and appointments. We have Brooke Fanning, Notary Public, Marge Gamble, Notary Bond, Jonah Ross Deal, Notary Public, and Megan Arnold, Notary Public. Do we have a motion to approve those?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Ms. Peggy Sue with the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second, any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Okay. So moving on to new business. This is the time to work on getting the 26-27 budget approved. So under new business, we have first reading of 26-27 budget. Is there a motion to approve that budget?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve that budget, first reading. Is there a second? John with the second. All right. Any discussion? Should have received in your packet all of the information about the budget.
How much are we going up on taxes?
We have 2 cents.
What did we value the penny at this year?
With the delinquency, it's valued at 52,254. Without it, it's 53,320. So we actually had a very good year in terms of growth. Shrek and his team did a good job of keeping up with our property. I think he increased it over $8 million in assets value. The 2 cents going into capital projects is in preparation for what's going to probably be needed in the future in terms of paying for the retirement costs and also the jail expenses. So it's one of those deals where we talked about over and over about planning ahead and not having one big increase. That 2 cents is kind of the preparation for what we know is coming down in the future.
Since there was only one bid on the jail though, to remodel it, aren't we getting a new bids? I mean,
Still gonna have to
that
pay
would be-
for it, so that 2 cents in the budget is just to help pay for whatever the cost is. It's not an appropriation for whatever, a certain expense. It is put some money aside so that when it does happen, we can move it over there.
So the 2 cents is because of the police department, the jail and all that?
It's for helping pay for the retirement system and also the preparation for some renovation of the jail.
So the reduction for the fund balance, how was that determined? Because a couple of years ago, we raised taxes to go from 5 to 15% fund balance, is what the state said. And now we're reducing the amount that we've got in fund balance.
The fund balance in general fund is actually going up, so I don't know what you're talking about.
We're going from like 2 million and some change to 1.5. It's
Well,
500K.
it's 2 million projected for this year. When we budgeted last year, the budget for the fund balance was gonna be 1.2 or 3. So that's just an example of the way the budget works, is we budget conservatively. We budget revenue conservatively, which means we don't put everything we could possibly get in the budget. On the expenditure side, we budget conservatively by putting stuff in there that we may need. So when that happens, you have a fund balance at the budget that looks lower than what you're actually going to get in the end, and that's what happened. So we budgeted 1.3 and we wound up with about a $2 million fund balance at the end of this year. The budget that we submitted this time has an estimated fund balance of 1.5. When y'all look at the budget next year, hopefully the budget will show that the fund balance will either be 1.5 or greater. That's historically the way it's been for, 8 years that I've been on the budget, and prior to that, we look back at all the old records, that's the way it works.
we've had more money than was anticipated for the last 8 years?
Well, we had more than we budgeted in the fund balance. There were expenses up and down over the 8 years, so we didn't always budget an increasing fund balance. There were times where we had to pay for things, and so what I'm saying is, in terms of budget, we generally have a fund balance that's higher at the end than what we budgeted. The other thing that hit us this year was the ratio study, and that's happened, it happens every couple of years, where things that don't get, our assessment for our property is assessed every 5 years, okay? So there are some things that get assessed every year. And to equalize that, they do a ratio study of how much their value has gone up from the prior couple of years, and they lower it back to what it would be at the same time that everybody else gets assessed. So the ratio this year was 88.21%, which meant there was some growth in those other areas that they equalized back to what it would be when we all were assessed, when all of our property was assessed. And so we lost probably, I don't know, a couple $100,000 in property taxes that we could have had because of that ratio study. But the equalization is a fairness factor for those that don't get appraised every year. Departments held the line on budget, so they didn't really, we didn't see a lot of increase on anything, any of the departments, so they're pretty much stayed the same. There was we had the no increase on salaries except for those that were required by the state, minimum state salary increases, and so those were in there. But everybody else, they got the retirement benefit, got no salary increase this year, so we held the line on salaries. But anyway, the total expenditure budget was largely about the same as it was last year. We'll try to answer any questions you have. I mean, it's.
How many years has it been, we talked about, since we, general fund, 2023?
Since what?
Since we put any, since the
Since we
general
added any
fund, since
money?
we added the money to the general fund,
Yeah.
it's been.
It's been 2 or 3 years anyway.
23. So.
Yeah, that's the year we raised taxes to go from 5 to 15%.
So this is, I mean, this, Gerald says we've sat down and looked at it, but, we've been there in the 18 cents, the 22 cents, the 15 cents, and they're not fun. But when you chip a little along, nobody likes paying more taxes. I don't like paying them either. But the gentleman sat here and shows us where our tax dollars come in and work. We have to continue to have that as a community. And we have to be able to chip along as we go instead of saying, well, we've been good, now we need this much. And that's just something we're trying to prepare for with retirement. And no, not just the jail, it's just anything in general that could come down the line. So.
There are no other questions or discussion. Ms. Lacy, if you will do roll call for us?
Peggy Sue Blackburn,
No.
Dexter Golden,
Yes.
Gerald Burnett,
Yes.
John Taylor,
Yes.
Amy Cashin,
Yes.
Shane Taylor,
Yes.
Bradley Daff,
Yes.
Arvis Bobo,
Yes.
Marty Cashin,
Yes.
Sunny Ray Moorhead,
Yes.
Robert Bracewell.
No.
So we have 9 yeses and 2 nos. We have 10 to pass. So
Is that if everybody's present or just?
gotta have 2/3 of the council. So we have to have 10 yeses.
What we do, bring it again next month?
We could have a revision. We could have an alternate motion tonight, or we could bring it back up next month, but knowing that we have to have 2 separate readings. So if we have to do both readings next month, it'll be a special call.
Yeah,
Maybe.
we've done that before, haven't
We
we?
have, yep,
Some kind of amendment,
yep,
and then vote at the end of the meeting or something.
yep.
You got another member that'll be at the next.
We gotta have 10, because it has to be
So is the objection to the budget the 2 cents? or-
I mean, I'm still opposed to the pensions, like.
What?
The
But that-
pensions.
That's
yeah.
already been passed. We're not voting on the pension
Yeah, well,
right
I'm
now.
not voting to fund it either, so.
Is that you too?
No, I didn't say that. I think that we've gone up on people enough in the last 5 years, and it needs to stop.
So you take the
So-
2 cents off and you vote yes, is that what I hear you saying?
I'll pass it if it's not gonna go up. I'll vote yes.
Well, I won't be on the council next time, and so when it goes up
I'm gonna miss you.
10 or 15 cents, you'll know that, well, you had a chance to pass a couple pennies this year and didn't do it, but I don't know, what are you gonna do?
I'm just curious how that math works out. You got 100K-ish for 2 cents. We're reducing the overall fund balance about 10 cents. So it's funny that you bring that number up, because what we're doing is borrowing from savings to not raise taxes this year that much, is what it appears like to me.
At the same time, we are also having a rainy day fund. I mean,
I'm all for
what
rainy day
happens
fund.
if a water main breaks in the
Exactly.
jail?
We're
or-
reducing the amount that we've got in that rainy day fund so that we don't have a big property tax increase in an election year. It's what it looks like to me.
But you just voted no. I mean, I don't understand your logic there. You're saying.
I'm not the one in
we're-
charge of the budget.
I'm saying I'll vote yes if you take a raise off of the budget.
A
Just leave it-
raise off of the budget.
The 2%. Just leave it like it is.
About 104K spread across a bunch of departments. You have 10 votes. Probably find some of that overtime somewhere.
We could cut some of it out on the council pay. We're all here to do better for the community.
We don't get no pay anyway, so
You get
take it.
$600 a year.
Take it.
There's
I'm not saying, I'm just saying, if we're here for the community.
Okay, so so you're saying that you don't agree with the way the funds have been distributed line by line on the proposed operation expenditures? Is that what you're saying?
Did you ask me or?
Both of y'all are just saying take 104,000 and spread it and take it away from somewhere, so I'm interested in hearing
Well, I think we're
where
gonna have
you would
another-
like to
I think
take
we're
it
gonna have
from.
another bid session on the revamping of the jail too.
Well,
'Cause I
that
think
is to
that
come, that is one of the entries on our agenda tonight is to talk about that, but we're not talking about that right now. What we're talking about right now is our expenditures and then the total number of pennies that we have as the proposed tax rate. That's what we're talking about right now.
So,
Well, I know the school said they
Madam
didn't
Chair,
need no more.
for EMS ambulance overtime pay, we've got a proposed $270,000 sitting aside. For the jail overtime pay, we've got a proposed $20,000. And then for the sheriff's department overtime pay, let me find that, $25,000.
Do you realize that there are, I mean, I know we've said this before, so I don't want to like beat a dead horse, but a lot of those overtime lines are things that get reimbursed for, like the oak barrel that we just talked about. The reason why all of these people are on, that's overtime pay, and it gets reimbursed. A lot of their overtime gets reimbursed from events and things like that. And I'm not saying all of it does, but there are revenue lines that reimburse some of those. So although, yes, I agree, it looks like there's a lot, some of it is paid for by outside sources. And just like the gentleman just said, what if those people hadn't been there?
If those are the very givers of life, then maybe we should triple their pay.
I don't disagree, but, you know, we have a hard time with 2 cents, much less 6. So, anyway, I mean, we've talked about how all of this works for a while. And I know that some people just have a fundamental, like, disagreement with taxes in general, but anyway, so we'll move on.
Well, can I, we tried to hear what you guys had said and what we've heard from our constituents that, you know, can we not incrementally fund things in a way that we don't get like a 15% increase in our taxes? So the budget committee, we talked about it. We could have passed a budget with no increase. We could have. But we heard what you said and we tried to put 2 pennies in this capital project. It's not a lot to put in there, but it is something that would maybe help offset some of the tax increases that might be needed in the future. And the way that capital project works is you can't take money out of there unless the council approves whatever we're gonna spend it for. So you got control of it. It's not like we're gonna put it in there and then spend it on things that are not, the council doesn't approve. It's put in there so we can use it for things that the community needs and can be approved by the council. It's just put there. Now, if we wanna go back and just say, no tax increase, leave it the way it is, I don't know, we can put that to a vote.
So on that point, because I've heard that get brought up multiple times, the small incremental increases somehow benefiting long-term. So if you're not actually maintaining what you've got and upkeeping it, I don't disagree. If you let it get dilapidated before you make any repairs, it's gonna cost more to repair it than it would have just to maintain. However, taking more money from people year over year, just incrementally more, rather than one lump sum later, that's not more money in their pockets long-term. I've not heard any citizens, I've only heard the council members and government employees talk about that, the incremental increases, because the math, it doesn't work. If you take more from me this year, and then a little bit more next year, and a little bit more next year, rather than me hanging on to my own money, as minuscule of an amount as that may be, I've got that money to spend until you take it later.
You have a valid point. When we was there with retirement, and that's where we're at now. We did not, county officials before us did not take into effect for retirement to make sure our county employees were taken care of. And we're at that point now.
So, at your job,
I own my
you
own
work-
company.
Okay. As a company owner, every year, do each one of your employees want a raise?
Generally, employees are compensated based off of their skill. If they provide more value, then they get more money. However, that's a fundamental lapse in work ethic with government employees. And I've, having been in the Navy, been at shipyard, been around here, there's a disconnect that goes on. Your job is secure, and it's about performing the process rather than producing anything, and they forget, like, yes, they are performing a real function and a real service, but because their job is not production, it's process, they forget that, and they think that they're adding more value oftentimes than they are. And then we have little parades for them, and we have special weeks for them.
So what's the price of that man's life they saved?
Well, let me find it for you.
There's
I
not a
don't
price
think
in the
that's
book. There's not a price in the
where
book.
we need to go.
It's in-
That's, no. So,
So I'll make another motion to take the 2 cents out, and we'll have the exact same 1.7412 rate that we have this year.
okay, so we have a motion to take the 2 cents off and leave the tax levy the same as it was last year. 1.7412 for the county and 1.7480 for urban services. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Peggy Sue with a second. Any discussion?
Mistake you made with not having enough people here. We would've gotten 10 votes and more people.
That's something to think about
Yeah.
for both
Maybe,
voting.
maybe not.
Well, you never know, but just take one more vote.
Okay,
So, Madam Chair, just for my own curiosity, because we are voting to approve the whole budget, and it's the budget that's in front of us, so do we need to identify those lines now?
No,
Or-
it's coming off capital projects.
Okay.
It's the 2 cents that we were gonna put in the capital projects for you guys that are on the council after I'm gone to use, it won't be there. So
okay. Ms. Lacy, can you do a roll call for us?
Robert Bracewell,
No.
Sunny Ray Moorhead,
No.
Marty Cashin,
Yes.
Arvis Bobo,
Yes.
Bradley Daff,
No.
Shane Taylor,
No.
Amy Cashin,
Yes.
John Taylor,
Yes.
Gerald Burnett,
yes.
Dexter Golden, Peggy Sue Blackburn.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have 6 and 5, so that didn't fly. I think, budget discussions for tonight. I guess I just have one question. Robert, I don't want to, I'm confused by your, the way you voted. Is there anything else that you're,
We would have to have a drastic cut for,
Okay.
like,
All right.
it's not even worth bringing up the
Okay.
amount we have to pay.
Understood. Moving on. We have in the packet, information about an EMS vehicle. All of the information is there about that vehicle, and how it's gonna be paid for. So I'll entertain a motion to approve that request.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, I heard it, but I didn't see it.
Shane, sorry. I'll make the motion to approve.
Okay, Shane with the motion,
I'll say.
John with the second. Any discussion?
I've got a question about this one from Mr. Deal. So we're replacing an Explorer for with a 2500. Why did we go that route over and against a 1500? Like, what are we currently using to tow that trailer?
So currently, we don't have anything, we use the fire truck, we use highway department trucks, we use various other trucks right now to tow those trailers and stuff. The reason why we're upscaling our response is due to all the recent weather events we've had, multiple tabletop exercises, real life events we've had with our director associations. A lot of your EMS agencies and EMA agencies are moving to bigger vehicles. The main reason for ours is we want the bed length to be able to put a stretcher in the back of it. So for the snow events, ice, farm accidents, spoiler accidents like that, instead of waiting for an ATV to get there to haul the patient on that system, we go have the vehicle there on site to get there, and even some of our lake responses and stuff that we've had to do as far as transport people out and into the ambulance, to the roadway, where we think the ambulance is at, is the main reason for it.
Can you not get that bed length in a 1500 or?
So you can get it, but then you're going to a long wheelbase. This is a regular wheelbase. So then when you go in a long wheelbase, you run into turning radius, and we turn into driveways and tight spots, which is the same radius as our ambulances out there and stuff. So that's why we went for the 2500 for the tow capacity and for the weight limit and stuff.
Okay. But I looked up the cost of ownership, lifetime cost of fuel and all that. Of course, it's $12,000 to $17,000 more for that versus a 1500.
Did you look at the state contract?
No, I'm talking about maintenance, tires and fuel over the life, 150,000 miles.
Yeah.
Cost.
So our maintenance is not too bad on it. We take care of vehicles. As you can see, we used a 2010 Explorer for 16 years before we had to get rid of it. Now it's due to the safety system going bad in it. Yeah, we had to get rid of it. So you take the price of that, and that truck's probably going to last another 16 years. And our last ambulance lasted 20 years. So I mean, we're doing our part in taking care of the equipment we did get.
Only question about the stretcher is with the suspension, it seems like a terrible ride.
Well, it will be briefly, yes.
Short term.
Short term. It's to get everything to places where we had cooler wrecks, numerous of them a couple of weeks ago. Well, we had one not too long ago, but the last couple of years we've had very difficulty getting to it. And if it wasn't for the sheriff's department moving to their trucks here lately, we would not be in the shape we're in right this minute with those type of responses. Because they've been able to get us, it's just getting the patient back, because the sheriff's department carries so much equipment in their trucks and bags. With the petition cage, it's not very suitable for patient care, or especially if they got broke legs or broke arms. So that's why we're moving to a stretcher that will mount the back of it. They'll have a camper top on the back of it, so the medic can ride the back with them to provide care if needed to get them to the ambulance.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else?
Okay, Ms. Lacy, can you do roll call for us?
Robert Bracewell,
Yes.
Sunny Ray Moorhead,
Yes.
Marty Cashin,
Yes.
Arvis Bobo,
Yes.
Bradley Dye,
Yes.
Shane Taylor,
Yes.
Amy Cashin,
Yes.
John Taylor,
Yes.
Gerald Burnett,
Yes.
Dexter Golden,
Yes.
Peggy Sue Blackburn.
Yes.
Okay. So that passes. You should have received in your packet a resolution for the THDA grant. Looking for a motion to approve that. Marty, a motion.
I'll second.
Peggy Sue with a second. Any discussion?
Where is this getting used at? Is there a specific location?
Says the mayor be authorized.
It's a low income, but the house is not, it's the city, they have somebody qualified in the county for low income remodel and individual home.
This makes us eligible for funds.
All of the paperwork will go through them, we're just allowing it to come into the county.
It's through the development district.
Remodeling personal homes for low-income individuals?
Usually with these grants, it's
So,
for,
yeah, that's where she's, you work there.
it's one of those situations where if you've got, a lot of times it's elderly that have fall hazards or different things like that, they will go in and update them to make sure that they are safe for that family, possibly weatherization, different things like that. It's not anything that's coming out of our budget or anything, it's all federal and state funded through SCTV. It's all funded through them, it's nothing through us.
No, it's all federal funded through the development district.
We pay for it.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Any opposed?
No.
Okay, Ms. Lacy, can you do a roll call for us?
Peggy Sue Blackburn,
Yes.
Dexter Golden,
Yes.
Joe Burnett,
Yes.
John Taylor, Amy Passion,
Yes.
Shane Taylor,
Yes.
Bradley Dye,
Yes.
Harvis Bobo,
Yes.
Marty Passion,
Yes.
Sunny Ray Moorhead,
Yes.
Robert Bracewell.
No.
10 and 1, so that passes. Okay, moving on to rezoning of map 043, parcel 010.01 and 012.01 from A1 to R2. Should have received information about this piece of property in your packet. Look for a motion for first reading.
Make a motion for the first reading.
Ms. Peggy Sue with a motion. Is there a second? Marty, a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Okay. We will need to have a public hearing before next month's council meeting for this. We'll say 6:20 again. Okay. Moving on to old business. Let's talk about rezoning map 025, parcel 010 from A1 to R2. This is second reading. Is there a motion to approve second reading?
Make a motion for the second reading.
I'll second it.
Robert with the motion, Ms. Peggy Sue with the second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? All right. Rezoning map 011, parcel 018.01 02 from I2 to R2, second reading. Is there a motion for second reading? Gerald with the motion.
I'll second it.
Peggy Sue with the second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? All right, and then rezoning of map 011 parcel 010 from A1 to R2, second reading.
I'll make a motion to pass.
Shane with the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second
Ms. Peggy Sue with the second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Okay. Moving on to discussions of the jail renovation.
So since the last council meeting, Tim Little, he's with us again tonight, he's from OLG Engineering. We met with Scott Frugoff from Lee Adcock, who's the only contractor that bid on the jail renovation. We went through the bid line by line and cut as much out as we could. We trimmed as much as we thought we could make until, to still get basically what we needed. So the numbers, the original number, I believe, was, the total bid was $1,056,498, and then there was an alternative of $54,000, an alternative of $97,632, and an alternative of $11,880. The alternate one was having to do with the roof. The way the roof was put on and built, it's on 16-inch centers. The seams for the 10, the contractor that put the metal on missed every stud in the roof. So when I tell you it's every one, they missed the first one, and it's on 16-inch centers all the way down. So that $50,000 that's in there is to add 2 bisections up to the rafters to ensure that we're screwing into a stud when we go back with screws in the roof. The alternate 2, there's a whole other cell in the back of the jail that was built in the 15 renovation. The only thing that's missing is a bed, toilet, shower. And so that was the $97,632 was to add those 2 things. It adds 2 beds to the jail. It's in the female wing. If we're going to cut something, I think that's the thing to cut. The reason it was added, it was gone ahead and bid, is because we're moving walls. We have everybody that needs to be there to do that work on site, and it's as minimal cost as it's ever going to be if we're going to add 2 beds. And in the alternate 3, there's the fire suppression room, the riser room. It has some water damage from a trough, literally, that's in the roof, and that's $11,880. We've gone through this bid literally line by line. The biggest number is for food service equipment. It's the stainless steel, it's the appliances and such. One of the ideas that was brought up is that instead of the contractor purchasing those and sourcing those and adding cost on top of it for basically the contractor fee, is that we do that ourselves. We do believe we can save a substantial amount of money by doing that. We can somewhat source more of what we need, right? And then there is a small cuts here and there.